Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to this prediction for May 2021, and this video will hold a general reading for the energy of May, as well as some astrological highlights, and then a more focused space aimed at your moon signs, and that will be psychic tarot readings for each of the 12 moon signs. Do stay tuned. Let's start with the general energy reading, and this is for all signs. And the energies that are coming through are quite beautiful here. Firstly, what comes up is that your ability to find the hidden gift within the difficult situations is becoming better and easier. And the thing is, we are going to have a couple of square aspects coming up this month. We're also going to have some beautiful trines and sextiles. And this is the thing, with every square, with every difficulty, with every challenge that we experience, there is a hidden gem of knowledge and understanding and unlocking that unravels from that. And the quicker you can surrender to the benefit that unfolds from each of those challenges, the easier it is for you. And I'm really feeling that this is becoming more and more accessible. The other thing that comes through is to surrender into trust, trusting that the efforts that you are putting forward are enough. Trust that you are calling in, trust that you are enough, trust, and get focused and continue to move forward with your efforts. Do not give up. It's not the time to give up. There is a lot of hope energy for this May, this month of May, but this hope is really hinged upon our ability to be temperate in how we approach things. So if you're gonna have a night of drinking, if you want to have that glass of wine, if you want to go away for the weekend, if you want to work really hard, whatever it is that you're doing, to do so in just the right balance so as to bring magic into your life. So of course, if you're gonna have a night out drinking, maybe have a glass of water in between each drink, and when you start to feel tired, it's time to go home. Make sure you're still going to get enough sleep. It's all about the balance. And of course, if you do have a crazy night out, then maybe have another night in and sleep and rest. Always bring through that temperate nature. I'm feeling that leading up to May, there has been, and so obviously in that April environment, there's been a lot of new beginnings in terms of starting new projects. And the thing is, there's been this sort of desire to over push yourself, to overexert yourself essentially, because you're getting excited about these new projects. And then there was this this potential for falling ill. So some of you have felt under the weather, some of you have pushed yourself too hard and fallen into illness, and now that illness is starting to clear up and you've really recognize that lesson that balance brings to you, right? When you get enough sleep, when you have enough meditation time, when you bring in the balance is the key to your success. And in integrating that knowledge, because I feel like you guys have learned this lesson over and over and over and over and over and over again, and this is part of those cycles, right? This is that cycle of life. We sometimes have to move through the same energy over and over and over. The thing is, It's up to each one of us individually to ask ourselves the question, well, how many times do I want to learn that lesson? And, you know, really to make that decision to step into playing with that dance of balance, to really bring as much of that magic through into your life. And so right now, as we about to enter into May, there's this action of grounding going on. There's this action of, you know, gathering up your resources, looking at what needs to be done, and taking stock and taking count and setting out new practical plans about how you're going to make this work for you better in the future. Because of course you've taken new things on, maybe some old things need to be weeded out, and the one thing that really needs to be considered as you enter May is, how are you giving back in a charitable sense? How are you also balancing out how much good is coming into your life and how you give that out to others? And really the character that I'm feeling around May is this sense of finding stability even when the earth is moving beneath your feet, even when there's a little bit of shake-up, and realizing that when you come from a space of stability, when you consciously bring yourself into that calm state, no outer circumstance can affect you. Nothing can push you off your center without your permission. And herein lies the deep and significant and profound importance of meditation, because meditation is that practice of remaining calm and centered and stable within yourself, so that nothing can push you off that center, so that no outer circumstance can stir you, and so that you can come from that space of responding consciously to what's going on and going, okay, well, where are the solutions? What is to be done about this, instead of flying off the handle? And you're going to see this kind of energy if you're able to pull it in, and of course you absolutely are able to pull it in. This kind of energy is really going to help you coming from the cold. And May is feeling like, and of course with Sun entering Taurus, or Sun being in Taurus, it really is about wealth and abundance and money coming through. So open your arms and get ready to receive. And do the necessary actions, of course, in the physical reality. You know, when I say open your arms and get ready to receive, I don't mean sit in meditation all day with your arms open, ready to receive. You also need to move the physical energy, all right? If you're looking for a job, you need to actively send out your CV. We came here to work magic, but we work magic by working within the physical realm, as well as and in parallel to the energetic realms, because working only in the physical also doesn't work. We need to bring these things into synchronicity. When you come from that stabilized center, when you come from a space of being rooted where you are able to stretch out and grow your limbs out in profound ways. And that reach is going to be able to become so much broader. And I really want to bring in this visualization of yourself as a growing starfish, all right? Having that center space, the heart, centered within the heart, having that rooting space, allowing the arms to extend outwards and reach. But we're also talking about an animal within the watery realms, all right? The watery realms, which is the realm of emotion and subconscious. And so we want to bring in that recognition that one needs to also work with the emotional stability, with the emotional feelings. So when emotions come up, to deal with them, to ask where they came from, and then to confront that root cause, which is quite often childhood or past relationship traumas. And then we are able to reprogram parts of the subconscious in order that we may pave new beliefs which really create new neural pathways, new pathways of abundance, of self-acceptance, of self-love. This is what we aim for. Make your wishes. Make your wishes upon the month of May, and then make those action steps. Take those plans, put them into action steps, and move towards your greatest dreams and your greatest goals, for you are worthy of manifesting all and everything into this physical realm, not only for yourself, but all those that walk alongside you. Alright, so the astrological highlights of May. On the 2nd of May, we have a gorgeous trine aspect between Mercury in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn, as well as a sextile aspect between Venus in Taurus and Neptune in Pisces. Oof, a trine and a sextile all upon the same day, and we have the likes of Pluto and Neptune coming to play. This makes it a very spiritual energy. This makes it a very deep and dreamy and transformational kind of energy, but it's also about bringing a practicality to those dreams, all right? With that Capricorn placement of the Pluto, it's really about bringing something a bit more grounded in terms of being able to achieve the dreams. And so this is a great day to really make the plans, okay? To look at the great goals you have and go, well, how can I break this down into smaller bite-sized steps, smaller steps that are perhaps a little bit more achievable and believable for me, and then how do I start moving my life into that direction? All right, bringing that practicality, and of course with that Mercury Taurus placement. All right, Mercury is all about communication, it's all about intelligence and thinking. It's about the mind space, so you can really utilize that mind space. And Taurus is also practical, step by step. It's about beauty, it's about love, it's about expression, okay? And it's again about financial love and abundance. So, forging those dreams of abundance, of fruition, and Venus in Taurus as well. Venus in Taurus sextile to Neptune in Pisces, a dreamy, romantic energy coming into the romance life, into our partnerships, into our love relationships, within the family space. Really capitalize on this glorious and beautiful energy. Celebrate with loved ones. Come into resonance with each other. Speak about your dreams and goals and what it is that you would like to bring into the family unit, into the partnerships, and see how those goals align with each other, and come up with plans, with ideas of how you can get there together. It's really feeling like an energy of togetherness. On the 3rd, we have a square, a little bit more of a difficult aspect between Mercury in Taurus and Jupiter in Aquarius, just before Mercury moves into Gemini. So we've got that little bit of a difficult, harsh energy with Mercury and Jupiter. And I think communications are not going to be so easy this day, especially around finance, abundance, expansion. It's probably better to avoid having a conversation. But right after that exact square, it's going to move, Mercury's going to move into that Gemini aspect. and Mercury is really at home in Gemini. Mercury loves to be in Gemini. Mercury in Gemini is sociable, confident, witty, outspoken, and a social butterfly, essentially, flitting from flower to flower. And so this Mercury Gemini, Mercury is going to be in Gemini for quite a while, and Mercury is also going to be going retrograde in Gemini. The pre-shadow is going to start on the 8th, so we have this little window between the 3rd and the 8th where communication is going to be really nice and easy before it becomes a little bit more difficult. I would say don't make meetings on this day if it can be avoided. Maybe leave it for the 4th and the 5th when we don't have any of those aspects standing in the way. And if you do need to have those conversations, just be cautious about how you put your proposals forward on this day. On the 6th of May, we have a glorious trine aspect between Venus in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn. And this is a day where we can really have we can actually bring beautiful transformation, changes, shifts, new understandings into our romantic relationships, as well as those relationships with our friends and our business partners. It's really a great moment to express what you need, your boundaries. Those things will be well received on this day, and it's a really great moment to just love, express, and grow together. On the 8th, Venus moves into Gemini, and this makes us a little bit more flirtatious and sociable about how we interact. You know, for those of you who are not currently in relationships, it's a great time to go out and flirt and meet people, even if this is just on the online spaces, of course. Many of us are still affected by the COVID lockdowns, depending, of course, where you are in the world. Also happening on the 8th, we have us beginning that pre-shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So this is where all of those things that Mercury rules just begins to slowly slow down. And I always like to say that the Mercury retrograde, instead of it being one of those things where you're like powerless and it's just Mercury retrograde, everything's awful, lock everything up, you know, instead of taking that approach with things, you use it as an opportunity to test your patience, to really bring yourself into your center, and to test your ability to surrender to any of the difficulties or hiccups that might come up. And to just be patient in how you deal with things, right? You might make plans and then suddenly 5 things happen that stand in the way of those plans. Just slowly, one by one, dissolve those things. So use your consciousness of the Mercury pre-shadow, and of course as we enter into the retrograde, which will be 3 weeks later, use that ability to extend, use that knowledge to grow your consciousness, to grow your ability to surrender, to move forward with love, to accept what is, and to accept where people are. On the 11th, we have a beautiful new moon happening in Taurus, and this is a great moment to plant your seeds. On the same day, we're going to have Mars in Cancer, sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So it really is an excellent day for planting those new seeds, What is it you're calling in the next cycle? What is it that you wish to bring into your life? Do your rituals and access that glorious sensitivity of the Mars Cancer energy, and use that sensitivity to be able to bring about change, to bring about a revolutionary change in your life. On the 12th, we will have Mercury in Gemini trine to Saturn in Aquarius, and a trine is a glorious aspect, but of course Saturn is all about restriction and challenge and limitation. And so it's a good day for recognizing your limitations, recognizing the challenges for what they are, and being able to surrender to them and being able to find solutions, to use that brilliance of the Aquarius energy to find solutions, to bring yourself forward and to surrender to all of those things that are happening, and to use your wit and your ability to communicate, right? These are both air signs, and to come up with those glorious solutions of how to overcome those challenges. On the 13th, we have Jupiter entering Pisces, and Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces, so this is a very fortunate placement. Jupiter is about expansion, our ability to grow. It's about abundance, and Pisces is about dreaminess. It's about, also on the shadow side, illusion, but I'm really not feeling that illusion come through. Of course, it's something to always be aware of. Illusion, delusion, fantasy worlds, drug addictions, this is the shadow side of that Pisces energy. But on the positive aspect, it's all about those grander visions for the future. It's about a collective vision. And as a collective upon this planet, may we utilize this beautiful energy in order to expand our notions of dreams and to expand the way we can visualize something better as a global society. On the same day, we're going to have Neptune in Pisces, sextile to the Sun in Taurus, and so we have Neptune as the more modern ruler of Pisces, so we have both of these planets at home in Pisces, so really this dreaminess is accelerated. And then sextile to that Sun in Taurus, the Sun is illuminating the possibilities of our ability to dream, right? Our ability to reach those goals and those dreams. So it's and Sun in Taurus, it's practical, right? We're seeing practical roots. We're seeing how this is actually possible. This is something we can achieve if we work together as a collective. The visions could be so glorious. On the 17th, we have the Sun in Taurus trine to Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, so I do feel that we could see some big shifts in our global economic systems at this point. That's on a global level, right? Pluto is about those global shifts. It is about the collective energy, and of course illuminating that. And then Taurus is about finances and wealth and practicality, as well as beauty and art, right? We might see that transformation happening in an artistic way, right? We're bringing new creative visions and goals into how we can move forward. On the 19th, we have Venus in Gemini trine to Saturn in Aquarius. The spaces within our relationships where we felt things couldn't come to a conclusion, things couldn't be resolved, the challenge was always going to be there. Yeah, new pathways are opening that allow us to see solutions, and perhaps it's about someone in the relationship surrendering and accepting and shifting their point of view. But whatever it is, it's a great moment for overcoming the challenges within our interpersonal relationships. On the 20th, we have the Sun entering Gemini. Of course, this is going to open up a moment, a whole month of chatteriness and social butterfly flittering from each flower. It's flirtatious, it's witty, it's charming, lots of conversation, but of course let's remember that Mercury is currently slowing down, Mercury being the ruler of Gemini, and it's in the pre-retrograde and it's about to go retrograde right near the end of the month. So be cautious not to be too harsh with your words, because your wit might be misconstrued as an attack, and so you want to avoid being misunderstood. On the 21st, we have a challenging square aspect between the Sun in Gemini and Jupiter in Pisces. Again, watch what you say. Be careful of gossip. Be careful of entertaining gossip. Be careful of listening to gossip. Be careful even of believing what other people are saying. This is really those loose tongues, foot in mouth kinds of energies, and in some ways the things that you say that may be misunderstood or misinterpreted, or perhaps not even meant at all in the way that it comes across, could really create a little bit of a spanner in the works in terms of the projects that you're currently busy with and your greater goals in terms of expansion, right? Yeah, and it might kind of create that shattering kind of effect, like, you know, you have this dream and it's all glorious and it's beautiful, and then suddenly something happens with someone's big mouth, and then it's like it all falls apart. Now, even if that happens, I want you to know surrender, accept, it's never as bad as it first appears, and things will soon ease up again. Because on the very next day, we have another square aspect between Mercury in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces. And you know what? I'm feeling this as a very similar kind of energy. Be cautious with those words. Be careful what you say. Oof, don't take meetings on this day. If you can, avoid it. If you must take the meetings, be very conscious about the words you use. And if you're planning a trip or logistical movements, these kinds of things, just be very careful about, get your insurance, and yeah, dot those I's, cross those T's, make sure nothing is unchecked. Have a service to the vehicle before you go, and definitely call in the assistance of the guides and angels. On the 26th, we have a very powerful full moon, full solar eclipse in Sagittarius. And while this is an extremely potent energy, it's very powerful, this is not the moment to be planting new seeds of intention. This is a good moment for tying up loose ends, finishing off projects that you've been busy with, and yeah, bring things to their conclusions and say goodbye to stuff that you can push out of your schedule. Not the moment for planting the new seeds. And then we have on the 27th, Venus in Gemini square to Neptune in Pisces. Alright, so all of the work that you've done in your relationships, and there have been some good positive aspects for the relationship sector, it kind of feels like it's reversed on this day. Perhaps there's this argument that breaks out that makes you feel like, well, this is the same pattern we're falling into again, and yeah, just be gentle with your partnerships on this day, and be a little bit forgiving, and don't overreact to the things people are saying, or even what they're saying through their actions, alright? Because of course our actions also speak. You're probably being extra sensitive, and they're probably not meaning it in that way. It may be this you know, this explosion of energy that is almost just unnecessary, and then it's like, again, that shattering of the dreams kind of feeling, and again, that shattering is an illusion. On the 29th, we enter into the Mercury retrograde, which is in Gemini. You know, Mercury is at home in Gemini. This is very sociable, it's witty, it's intelligent, it's flirtatious, but of course Mercury is slowing down, so those wits may be a little bit slowed down. They're not gone, they're there, they're present, it's just a little less accessible. And you know, I've said enough about how we should enter the Mercury retrograde, and you know, that it's an opportunity for us to grow and to be patient, to surrender, to learn acceptance, and to really just test our ability to remain conscious within the moment and to accept whatever it is that is unfolding in that day. The other thing happening on the 29th is that Mercury will be conjunct with Venus, both obviously in Gemini. And so this is really bringing a very potent energy to that start of the Mercury retrograde. Conjunctions always make whatever other things are going on a little bit more powerful. So it might be one of those rigorous sort of wake-up calls like, hello, it's Mercury retrograde, and it's a really important day, and especially with your romantic relationships, your partnerships, business partnerships, friendships, to just be so cautious about what it is that you are saying. In fact, I feel that this is the overarching advice for May. Be cautious with your words. On the 31st, we have Mars in Cancer trine to Neptune in Pisces, and of course, as we know, Mars is not really at home in Cancer. It's not very comfortable, it's very sensitive, it's very moody, and we're kind of ruled by our moods and our emotions at this time while Mars is moving through Cancer. However, that trine aspect with the Neptune in Pisces really heightens our sensitivities, our intuitive senses, our ability to tap into the psychic realms, into the emotional realms, our abilities to be empathetic. It's really a gorgeous, mystical, spiritual kind of energy opening up on this day. And so I hope that you can, if possible, spend a decent amount of time either in nature or in meditation, lighting a candle, burning some herbs, and just really tapping in and taking the time to listen to the stirrings of your soul. Beautiful souls. Thank you for watching the astrological highlights. And of course, if you would like to watch your moon sign psychic tarot reading, you can go into the description below right now and find the timestamp for your moon sign. And if you don't know your moon sign, leave me a comment or catch me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Drop me a DM and I will happily help you to work this out. See you in your moon sign reading. Hello Aries moon signs, and welcome to your psychic tarot reading prediction for May. Oh, Aries, you know, the ruler of your moon sign, obviously Aries, is Mars. And Mars is currently in Cancer. And Cancer is so deep and sensitive and moody. And the thing is, you know, moody is the shadow side, of course. It's the sensitivity, the moodiness is the perception of the reaction of the sensitivity to other people's emotions and how everyone else is feeling. It's that empathy, right? It's that feeling into what everyone else is going through. And so it's no surprise that one of the cards that come up here in terms of oracle cards is one that is titled Deep Waters. Because of course, as Mars is traversing through Cancer, it will be affecting you particularly since Aries is your moon sign, and this will be making you extra sensitive at this time, and it may make it more difficult for you to process your emotions because they're so much more intense than normal. However, this is a beautiful gift for you to get in touch with those emotions. So take a moment this month, especially near the beginning of the month, to light a candle in dedication of yourself and the processing that you need to move through and feel, and allow yourself to feel, and allow the things that need to come up to come to the surface so that you can release them. And I do hope that you're going to be releasing them with tears. Tears are such a magical tool that has been gifted to us to be able to release our emotional waters, to literally physically release them from our bodies. What a beautiful blessing. And another of the oracle cards coming up is Awaken to Your Magic. And I do feel that this is very interconnected with that ability to go deep into how you feel, because going deep is how you awaken to that magic. So recognize that even when you are traversing in the unfamiliar, sensitive and over emotional waters, deep at the bottom of the oceans of your soul, you are awakening to your own magic. So at the beginning of the month, I'm feeling that there is quite a magical discovery, and I hope that is I'm pretty sure that is to do with finding the magic in your own self, right? Perhaps you're unlocking tools and abilities that you weren't really aware of, and they were latent and always there, and you're just going, wow, I have this ability to do this thing, and it's really feeling like it's a healing ability, or its ability to hold space, something connected with that emotional and spiritual work. I'm also feeling at the beginning of the month that there is a proposal. So this could be to do with business, this could be to do with partnerships, maybe you're moving in with someone. There are multiple ways that this can play out, but there is this sense of romance and fun and lightheartedness and happiness and joy and proposals and new beginnings as we enter the month of May. Towards the middle of the month, there's a little bit of a slowdown of energy. There's kind of that feeling where things had been moving quite fast, and then suddenly they're like, it feels like a bit of a stalemate, like a moment of pause. And there can be that sort of reaction, especially with that Aries moon energy. There can be the reaction to go, but I need to move, but I need to get things going, but I want to move forward with my life, right? And I really want to urge you to take the opportunity to just go, what needs to be seen? What needs to be heard? What needs to be shifted within me while it feels like everything is slowing down and there isn't that outward fast motion that I so normally crave? Let me sit a little bit outside of my comfort zone and sit with this feeling and interrogate some of the things that are coming up. And I'm feeling like this is a key word for you for the month of May, is this emotional allowance, this sitting with what is, this sensitivity, that diving deep into the realms of self. Focus in that moment upon bringing balance and recognizing where it is in your life things have been out of balance up to this point, and asking yourself where you can make little tweaks, little changes to essentially enhance the quality of your day-to-day life. Towards the end of the month, I'm feeling a little bit more forward motion, but it's not fast motion, not that quick Aries motion. It's more that slow, steady, plodding along, taking one step at a time. And maybe sometimes it's frustrating and it feels like it's quite a bit to get one step going, but you are moving forward, and the steps that you are taking at this time, they are solid and they are immovable. They are creating unshakable foundations, and they are properly done. All right, it's not that willy-nilly kind of attitude. It's that we're really going to get it done properly, you know. And it really is through harnessing your ability to be practical, to be grounded. Beautiful Aries moon signs, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And of course, if you did, I would be so grateful if you hit like and you hit subscribe. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. I would love to hear from you. And of course, if you would like a full personal reading, please drop me an email, which you can find in the description below. I would love to do a reading for you. And please join me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time. Hello, Taurus moon signs, and welcome to your prediction. And the key message that is coming through for you is shift and transform yourself in ways to bring you towards believing more and more in who you are, and believing in the possibilities of achieving your dreams. Believe, believe, believe. For you are able to transform yourself in this powerful way. So in the beginning of the month, there does seem to be the possibility of the energy of betrayal. And I don't enjoy delivering these kinds of readings but this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. We didn't just tune into this existence for the fluffy bunnies and the rainbows, because we wouldn't be able to see the joy of the fluffy bunnies and the rainbows if it were not in contrast with some of the difficulty, some of the challenge, some of the shadow. Okay, so there is this energy of betrayal around the beginning of the month. And, you know, it could even be you making the betrayal. It could, of course, be someone else doing something that you find to be a betrayal. And this causes some kind of big reaction, this kind of feeling of running around aimlessly with no head, not thinking straight, just reacting, just getting caught up in the drama of it, okay? And of course, you have the ability in terms of watching this beforehand to go, that's not how I want to respond. I want to respond from a space of consciousness. I'm watching out for all the people in my life to see where is that betrayal happening. And of course, if you are the one who has committed the betrayal, to also forgive yourself, because of course all of us are always doing the best that we can with the knowledge and the understanding that we have. And quite often a betrayal happens quite by accident. And it's not obviously coming from a space of consciousness, but afterwards often it opens up some kind of conscious awakening of like, whoa, that happened. And of course that headless, flighty, aggressive kind of energy could be coming at you, and then you have the choice in that moment to either respond with the same kind of energy or to go, I hear you and I see how my actions have hurt you, and I apologize. And it's that easy. And maybe there is still a way to be able to build those bridges of understanding, which could actually make that relationship and that bond stronger, whether it's a friendship or a partnership or business, whatever it is. It can be used as fuel to make the bond stronger, or it may be necessary to break apart. In the middle of the month, there is some kind of subconscious, unconscious thing that is coming up for you personally. And for all of you, it's going to be different. I'm feeling a lot of energies come through right now. And I think for the majority of you, it is connected with something that happened in your childhood. And isn't this most of where our programming comes from, isn't it? And there's just this sort of revealing, and it's something that's come into consciousness that you were not previously aware of, and it may be quite a difficult thing to see. It may be a difficult thing to deal with. It may bring up a lot of emotion, and I want to encourage you to do the necessary processing within yourself to move through this without having to maybe bring it up with someone else. The saying comes to mind, let sleeping dogs lie. You know, sometimes when we suddenly realize, oh, our parents were kind of maybe a bit abusive in that way or whatever, but actually we have quite a good relationship now, it may not be useful to go and approach your mother and blame them for things that happened in your childhood, right? However, it is empowering for you to have that conscious realization and perhaps to have that conversation with a trusted friend or a mentor or your psychologist, whoever it is. But to do this in safe spaces, because I feel if you were to scratch open the wounds with certain people, that it may open a whole can of worms that's actually unnecessary. And I'm sure that you can recognize that, you know, it's hurt people that hurt people. And so in you recognizing that pattern, you can shift that cycle within yourself and not carry it over into the next generation. But to try and go backwards and point fingers is actually just a waste of your energy. And I hope this makes sense. You know, sometimes for healing, it is necessary to confront the perpetrator or to say something. But sometimes it's maybe not useful to actually say it to that person, but maybe you can do a meditation where you say it to that person and you have those conversations in the ethereal realms. You know, still move through that process, but it may not be useful to actually have that conversation in the physical realm. At the end of the month, things are really going to turn around for you. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, and there is some kind of an offering coming through. It's a small offering. It's still quite significant. It's still going to be useful, and it also has a shadow side, so think twice before you just accept what is being offered here on the table. Really check in and just make sure you see the shadow side of it first. Make sure you're aware of all of the consequences of taking that opportunity. It's feeling a little bit like, you know, it's gonna like pull you up on one side and drag you down on the other. And as long as you're aware of the entire package, you can make a good decision from there. All right, Taurus moons, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, please hit like and subscribe to my channel. And of course, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you thought of that prediction. And of course, if you would like a personal reading with me, please drop me an email, which you can also find in the description below. And of course, I'd love to catch you on my social media, Instagram, where I do a weekly live, very different to this space. So please join me there if you would like to sample my live reading skills. And yeah, I'm on TikTok and Facebook as well. So let's connect and see you next time. With love. Hello Gemini moon signs, and welcome to your prediction. So the keywords that are coming up for you for the month of May is awakening dreams. Coming to the space of awakening those dreams, bringing them into realization, and awakening to new dreams, right? You may have had goals set out that you now realize are no longer valid and no longer aligned with where it is you wish to go in this lifetime. And the other key word that is coming up is trust. Trusting in the divine flow, even in those moments where it feels like there isn't a divine flow, right? And of course, Gemini moons, you've got a lot of planets in Gemini, and your ruling planet Mercury is going to be going retrograde most of this month. We are going to be sitting in the pre-shadow of that. So there are going to be some hiccups, there's going to be some it's not flowing, and people are going to misunderstand what you're saying, and likewise you're going to misunderstand what people are saying. So don't jump to conclusions, and trust that there is still a divine flow, and trust in yourself, and trust in the efforts that you have made to move forward. Trust in all of the work that you have put in, spiritually, physically, in your careers, at home, in all of the spheres and aspects. Alright, so the beginning of the month is going to have some of those frustrations that we've already spoken about, and there's going to be this need for you, and it's going to be more than once this month. It's going to be this need to go, okay, that seems like a complete disaster, but I know and I trust that it isn't a complete disaster, and that all is exactly as it should be. And so if something about a situation is being revealed, and there's perhaps a need to just pick up the pieces that you've still got and just move on, let go, forgive, and carry on with your life, essentially. There's definitely a sense of feeling like you've lost out financially or materially, or perhaps even in terms of your time. You know, sometimes when something happens and you feel betrayed by someone, and then that person, you know, shows up in a way that feels spiteful almost, and then you feel like, oof, I've invested so much time into this relationship or friendship or whatever it is, and now I feel like, oh, I've been taken for a ride, you know. And I want you to just recognize that material is just a vibration, it's just an energy, and you can transmute this, you can move forward, and you can call in new material things into your life. Don't hold the grudges. Let go, breathe. Let go and breathe. In the middle of the month, there's going to be a moment where you kind of feel a creative surge, like you just want to get things done and you want to move quick. And of course, with that Gemini energy, you always want to move quickly and fly off with the idea. But the warning is, and of course you have this ability to really see multiple avenues, but the warning is that, like, when you see this idea, don't just run with it without thinking and looking at the alternative options. There's this warning that you're putting all of your eggs into one basket and you're kind of being very focused on, oh, it must be this, it must be this, when meanwhile there's all these other things that it could possibly become and be. So just broaden the view, open up the horizons, and perhaps, you know, the losses that you incurred at the beginning of the month has really opened up this space for new opportunities to come through. So really look out for them. Towards the end of the month, there's going to be this tendency to fall into illusion in terms of not all is as it seems, right? Sometimes you're going to look at a situation and think it's really bleak, and meanwhile there is a hidden gem of possibility therein. And then even sometimes you're going to see a situation that looks amazing, and then after checking a little bit closer and scratching a bit beneath the surface, you see, this was not proposed or presented in the way that it actually is. So watch out for the illusion. Watch out for, just don't believe everything that you hear or see. And there is this sense of options, opportunity, and things opening up and choices to be made. And so in making those choices, right, and quite possibly one choice will have you moving quite far, just check and do your proper research and really meditate on it and really see how you're feeling, and discuss with a mentor, discuss with a number of people, and again come back to how you're feeling, and then think it through again, and then do some more research before you make this big life-changing decision. All right, beautiful Gemini moons, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment below. Of course, I would love it if you join me on social media, IGTV, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I release a lot of content there as well. And of course, if you would like a personal reading with me, please drop me an email and I will be in touch. Lots of love. Hello Cancer moon signs, welcome to your prediction. I do feel that energies are working more in your favor than in some of the other signs that I have already done readings for. As I shoot this, I really do feel a lot of good energy coming through for you, and maybe it's something to do with that Mars energy being in Cancer, and of course you know how to navigate those Cancery sensitive waters. Of course, that's your moon sign, and the moon is at home in Cancer. You know, it's a very comfortable space for the moon to be in. It's the moon in its full expression. And the key words that are coming through for you for this month of May is be strong, but be gentle. And this is the thing that I think you are the most aware of as an archetype, that Cancer archetype, than any other of the archetypes. And of course you have multiple archetypes in your birth chart, but you know, I'm addressing your moon aspect right now. And this is the thing, Cancer knows that there is so much strength in sensitivity, so much strength in being able to process the emotions, to allow the emotions to flow through in ways that create release, in ways that clear the way for newness to come in. There is so much strength in allowing yourself to become vulnerable. Be strong, yet gentle. And of course, as you know, while Mars is moving through Cancer, everyone else is not used to feeling so sensitive and moody. And they're going to be reacting and overreacting, and guys, you need to bring that gentle energy and help everyone else. Show your strength in your ability to be gentle. I'm also really feeling that this month of May for you is kind of a crossroads of sorts. It's as if you've reached this very busy intersection in your life where there's a lot going on and there are multiple routes that you can take, and there are so many options, and what is necessary for you to do right now is to really weigh up the odds and see what is the path of my highest joy. What path will bring the greatest joy? Because you really have some great options, but you can't split yourself into two and go in both directions at once, or in 5 directions at once, and you know this as well as anyone. You're really feeling at the beginning of May that your finances are looking up, the abundant flow is there. If you're owning your own business, like the business is just coming in. If you're a salesperson, you're just making those sales, and you're feeling as if you've reached a state of achievement, a state of accomplishment. And it's almost as if the magic of the universe has really opened up in such a big way, and you're just seeing like, wow, I'm the creator. Whatever I desire, I can bring about through my divine focus. And you're just like, this is magic. The world is magic. And I'm worthy, and I can do this. So you're really sitting in a good space as we start this month, and it really feels as though a lot of the square aspects are not going to affect you as strongly as the other signs. And in the middle of the month, and I mean this is quite amazing because I'm reading with 2 tarot decks, and from both tarot decks, and like I lay out all the cards before I start filming, right? And so that means no one else has the Magician card, because you've got both Magician cards. And I mean, if you wanted a better sign than that, I don't know where it's going to come from. Like, that is so exciting. And the Magician really is about stepping into your own magic and being the creator of your life and recognizing the power you have in shifting things. So you get the Magician card for the beginning of the month, you get it for the middle of the month as well. And this time it's paired with the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, come on. Come on. Just look at my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a loss for words for you right now. And that doesn't happen so often. Normally the words just flow and flow, like things are really turning in your favor. Whatever hiccups might be about this month, you just know how to finesse them because you recognize you're the creator. Yes, be in this powerful space, guys. I love it. And towards the end of the month, we have this card of happy family, which is the 10 of water. And, you know, for some of you, it might mean that you're inviting someone new into the family. Perhaps a new child enters the family. Or it's just this thing of like coming together. Maybe there's a family reunion. Maybe all across the world, if you have family all over the world, you have like this big group Zoom call or something where you're just all connecting with each other and rejoicing together, maybe celebrating someone's milestone or a birthday or something like this. It's just really a happy, celebratory, close kind of connection. And with that, we have the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands is about completion. It's about completion of a project, a creative project. So you've been birthing something, you've been bringing something into fruition, and it's, you know, it's come to a nice, neat little ending. And because there's been so many favorable cards leading up to this point, you know, often I read this 9 this Nine of Fire or Wands card as, you know, it's a double-edged thing. There's also this sense of guardedness because you've been through some tough things as well, but I feel like you really haven't been through too much darkness in this month of May, right? I feel like, yeah, which means, you know, obviously it would be ignorant to say there's going to be no darkness, right? So of course there's some darkness, but you're just in such a good space. You're like transmuting it with my light, transmuting it with my light, transmute, transmute, transmute. And, you know, you're coming to this point of conclusion and going, I'm so proud of myself and the way I've responded, in the way I've reacted, in everything that I've done up to this point. I am so proud of myself, and you should be. Beautiful Cancer moons, thank you for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed that, and of course I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you would like a reading with me, please would you drop me an email, that's also linked below. And there, while you're there, you can click on all my socials and follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. It would be beautiful to connect in those spaces. Until next time, gorgeous souls, with love. Hello Leo moons, and welcome to your prediction. And the key word for your reading is unlearning, and apply the past lessons. Oof, Leo moons, I know you don't like to hear this one, but sometimes your pride is getting in the way. And you know, the thing is, you've been through the same pattern a couple of times, especially in something specific, which I know you know individually, because of course this is a general reading for all Leo moons. There's going to be a different answer for each of you. There is some pattern that you keep repeating, and you have the choice now to just integrate that lesson, to do the unlearning and to break the cycle, because there is going to be a tendency to fall into that same pattern this month of May. Watch out for it. Because you do know better. You already know better. So the beginning of the month is going to be, it's going to be quite financially good. It's going to feel quite abundant. It's going to feel like things are just flowing nicely in the material realm, and there's almost going to be this blessing, like an angel coming down who, you know, where there was maybe some problems before, maybe some illness, maybe some difficulty, and then the solution just comes and you're just like, wow, oh yes, and then the avenues open up in even more profound ways, right? So there's this beautiful blessing coming through, and then towards the middle of the month we again have these signs of like wealth and abundance and unfolding and a helping hand, and someone's out with your best interests at heart. So look out for that person, right? Maybe you've been questioning, and then suddenly there's this rush of energy, like, which is kind of counter to that Mercury retrograde energy and may cause some oversights, and yeah, some problems may erupt at this point, just simply because you are rushing to try and get finished, and instead of really doing something properly, and it feels like there's a miscommunication happening. You know, it's like when the client says, I want this, this, and this part must be like this. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then you're like, and you do the thing, and you forget that like that part had to have that specific thing in the project and you submit it back to the client, and then they're all upset because they're like, but I specified. So just check, don't rush. And this may well be that lesson that you've learned so many times, right? You're like, the creative juices are flowing and you're like, go, 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 go. And instead you need to just be like, my creative fires are burning, but they don't need to burn the whole house down. I'm just going to feed it gently, just enough to make it nice and warm inside here, just enough to cook the food. We don't want to burn everything down, right? And we don't want to have to go back and redo the same work because it wasn't done properly. At the end of the month, you get both Justice cards. So I'm actually reading with 2 tarot decks, and you literally get both Justice cards. So wow, this is an important one. And you know, the Justice card has so many layers of meaning. It's very archetypal. It's a very powerful meaning. Plus you've got 2 of them. And of course it's the scales, you know, it's about balance, balancing the 2 sides out. And it's about understanding. There's dark, there's light. And in the end, that dark and light balances out in perfect harmony. And so you need to cultivate balance in your life. You need to prioritize all the different aspects of your life that are important: your health, your spirituality, your mental and physical well-being, the way you eat, how much rest you're getting, as well as your work. You know, you can also fall off too much on the side of relaxing and chilling, or you could go like, it's Mercury retrograde, I'm not taking any meetings, and then you're like, no, you still got to do the work. It's just maybe at a little bit more of a patient pace, right? And the other thing that comes through with this Justice is often the Justice card comes up when we are feeling like things are not fair. And then you're like licking your wounds, right? Things are not fair. I'm so hard done by. And why does so-and-so get this and then I only have that? I mean, comparing yourself to others, comparing your story to others, all of this is just a waste of your divine energy. And you are far better off sitting and looking at all of the things that you have to feel grateful for. Leo moons, right? Leo is heart-centered. Leo is all about being heart-led. Bring yourself back into your heart space, because that's where your truth center is. And remember the truth. You are powerful. There is balance. And there is divine justice. And even if we don't see justice playing out now in this realm, you know, it's very clear to look at something like police brutality, right? And be like, where's the justice? Where is the justice? But I need you to know and to trust that even as we call for justice now in the physical, to see it, to witness it, that the justice is inevitable, that it is impossible for it to not exist. All right. Trust and learn and unlearn and apply those past lessons. Glorious Leo moon signs, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please will you hit like and subscribe, and of course leave me a comment in the section below over here, and also check the description to find my email address, and that's how you can catch me for a personal reading, which we can do over a video call. And I would love it if you join me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. Everything's linked below, and see you next time with love. Hello Virgo moon signs. Welcome to your prediction, and the key words for you are mirror, mirror, mirror. All the judgment that you are projecting onto the outer circumstances, right, is but a reflection of the things you need to work on in yourself. And I know that's a hard one to swallow, and you have such a keen critical eye, and I know that you are so self-critical as well. And when you find yourself being a scathing critique of others, just remember to just soften up a little bit and to just be a little bit gentle, so that you can also turn the mirror around and be gentle in in seeing yourself in that reflection as well. Okay, you can often be too harsh, not only on others but on yourself as well, and the most harsh on yourself. So just remember, you are a divine healer, you are a divine being, and you came here for a reason. And you have an amazing intellect, and your ability to see all of the problems is not only a curse but also a blessing, because you can often so easily find the solutions, because half of the battle is to find the problem so that you can find the solution. Once you know the problem, you can shift into the vibration of finding the solution, right? Persist in your pursuits. This is the other keyword coming through for May for you. And I know that you are really good at getting to the grind of things, of committing and waking up every day and plodding on, and keep doing it. Keep doing it. You are moving forward. You are creating magic. You are magic. You are magic. At the beginning of the month, there is a sense of needing to protect what you're building, to protect what you've created. And there's, it's almost going to be perceived as like an attack upon your creative project, or perhaps it's something you're working on. Might be a business deal or whatever it is, but it's something that you've put a lot of energy into, right? And there's going to be, it's almost as if someone's throwing rocks at it, okay? And you're just like, whoa, okay, I need to put this in a space where your rocks are not going to harm it. So there's just this need to like protect. Remember that, sometimes taking critique from other people, I know it's so hard because you're so critical on yourself already, but sometimes it's necessary to also just listen to those things coming through, and maybe there are some edits that you could implement into this project. But at the end of the day, it is your project, and you are the master of this project, and you are the one who has put in the blood and the sweat and the tears, and you have created and you have worked and you have made. Don't allow someone else to swoop in and take the credit. You can be like, yeah, cool, I hear you. Sit and actually hear them, and then make your discerned decision from that point. In the middle of the month, we have a double-edged energy here. We have two sides of the coin. We have hope and strength and divine femininity and intuition opening up and the ability to bridge worlds, right? We have this very like deep spiritual feminine space, and then we have this sense of burdens and responsibility and heavy weight and the structure that holds me back from embodying that feminine, and this thing of like, I said I would do it, so now I must do it. But sometimes if something is not serving you, and if it's standing in the way of you being your true self, then sometimes those things need to be dropped. And I know you can be very harsh on yourself in terms of, I have to be a person of my word. But sometimes you run the risk of betraying yourself just because you don't want to go back on your word. And perhaps it's better to just be honest that, like, you know what, I've taken on too much, or this is no longer serving me, it's no longer aligning with my aims and my goals in this life. At the end of the month, towards the end of the month, we're gonna have, there may be a beautiful opportunity for romance, maybe some new relationship coming through, but it's certainly feeling a bit like an offering, right? It's like, hey, I'm interested, and what do you think of that? And I mean, even if you're in a relationship, maybe there's just going to be some nice flirtation, which is always a nice energy boost. And hey, some of you are polyamorous. Maybe you start a new relationship entirely, and along with this new beginning, and maybe it's just a resurgence of the love within an old relationship, right? But there is this need to walk away from something unhealthy, which really helps to make this new beginning something really, really magical. And you're gonna see this unfold. You're gonna recognize that it might be an addictive pattern. It might be, you know, a habit. It might be forgiving something, right? Letting go of the need to throw something old in someone's face, because of course we can't move forward in a very real way within a relationship if we're going to constantly throw the old things in the face of the people that we are wanting to spend our lives with and surrounded by. And I know, Virgo, sometimes it's hard for you to forget. Well, you don't need to forget, but you do need to let go of the need to remind people of the things that they did. Thank you for watching, Virgo Moons. Please do hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed that, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the reading, and yeah, join me on my other social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Everything's linked below, and if you would like a personal reading with me, please drop me an email. Till next time. Libra Moons, welcome to your prediction for May. And the keywords coming through for you, and I kid you not, it really does come out on the cards, is balance. Of course, always so important for you Libras. Balance, 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 and face your fears. And what is a life where we don't face our fears? That is no life worth living. If we are going to shy away from fear, then we are not living our true potential. And this is the thing about the fear, it never goes away. We just keep facing it, and we get better at facing it until those fears are transmuted and new fears arrive. That is all a part of the process. So in the beginning of the month, there is a sense of feeling sad, and there is a sense of, I feel like I've lost out. I feel like, you know, that it's kind of, it's not quite apathy and boredom. It's more like feeling sorry for myself, but because of not big enough things, you know what I mean? It's just like, and yeah, and there is a loss attached to it, and you know, maybe for some of you it is a serious loss, and then I apologize for what I just said. You know, of course, if you have lost a person, this is a very necessary grieving process that you need to move through, but I'm really feeling it more in terms of a door closed, and it was an opportunity that you were kind of hoping was going to pay off, and as that door closed, a whole bunch of other doors actually opened up, and you are not able to perceive those doors until you stop staring at the closed door. So yeah, please know that this loss, it's not really as big as you think. In fact, there is a divine blessing therein, and it's cleared the way for new. you to come through. In the middle of the month, I feel a resurgence in your passion for your paid work, for your career path, and you're really just able to work in a very productive manner. And you know, you're getting a lot done, but sometimes there's this sense of, you know, 5 steps forward, a few steps backwards. Oops, we made a mistake. Let's go back and correct that. And like while you're feeling this drive to go, 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 there are some hiccups that are coming through and sort of shaking things up. And you are being asked to remember that momentum is not stopping. Momentum is moving for you. And even when it feels like you have to move a little bit backwards before you move forwards again, you're still moving exactly as you need to. And you know, if we look at the way that a river flows down the mountain, right, the river doesn't take the shortest, most direct route distance-wise, but it does take the route of least resistance. And so try to be like the river in how you move and how you access this great forward momentum energy. Is, you know, okay, now we're going to go this way. Okay, now we're going to go this way. All right, now we go this way. Because that's the route of least resistance. And very often, the direct route that we would perceive in our brains, it might seem logical that that's the quickest way to go. It might be too rocky to climb that route. It might hurt your feet. You may not have the correct equipment for that route. It may just be easier to go in a zigzag, right? And then towards the end of the month, there is going to be a little bit of a gefaffel, oh, very South African word, sorry. There is going to be some kind of an attack. And attack might be too strong a word, right? Energetically, it's going to feel like someone's coming for you, and you gotta like jump on the soapbox and stand up for your beliefs, and you know, have this whole standoff. And it does feel like the right moment for you to actually have the say and to stand up for what you believe in. I would caution you to use your words very wisely. Of course, we're going to be entering into Mercury retrograde. Yeah, it's not going to be so easy to be understood and to speak so clearly. Of course, you do have this incredible mental capacity, so you can work with this energy. And yeah, just very cautious with the words you choose. Don't use words that are going to throw daggers. Use words that are honest and true, but gentle. Okay? You are strong enough. You are strong enough to create some real change here. And I think that's exciting. All right, beautiful Libra moons, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit like and subscribe and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you thought. Of course, I would be so grateful if you joined me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, which is also linked below in the description, as well as my email address. If you would like a personal reading, please drop me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Many blessings. Till next time. Hello, my kin, Scorpio moons. As you know, I'm a Scorpio moon too. And it's tough sometimes, but it's also magical. That deep, dark Scorpion energy. We love it. We love it. So, my Scorpion moons. The keywords coming up for you for May is trust in your power and trust in your fire. Your fire that can purify, your fire that can cleanse, your fire that can create and bring passion and transformation into these realms. Trust in your ability to control the fire and intend to control the fire, because when that Scorpio tail comes out, I mean, sometimes it must come out, you know. So the beginning of the month does feel like a new beginning, a new start, a new journey. Maybe some of you are starting new jobs or new projects, but there is just this sense of like, fresh start, you know. And of course, with starting a new journey, there are always multiple things that can happen, you know. There's endless, infinite possibility. And then you can also sink into no possibility. That's a choice. And it does feel that there is reason to celebrate. There is reason to gather with friends and to just give thanks, give gratitude, maybe come together to just generate that good energy, even if it must be on an online platform. Of course, many of us are still regulated by the COVID lockdowns, etc., depending where you are watching from. And please, of course, be cautious with the lives of those around you and keep safe. In the middle of the month, we do have this sense of burden, this sense of, I've got this responsibility. I said I would do this, but it's kind of making me feel a bit chained, and I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And, you know, there's almost this like dragging of your heels and taking the action. And there's also this sense of aggressive energy, words being misunderstood, people overreacting, and all of those things contribute to your feeling of like, I don't really want to be here anymore. But let me tell you, Scorpios, that energy is going to be everywhere. And it's not really about the situation that you've committed to. It's also about everything. It's everywhere. It's in the air. So you need to use your sensitivity, use your ability to see and to foresee and to be kind and to be gentle and to be understanding, to transmute the energy and to work through it. Please don't give up on this project yet, because I think that you may find that by the end of the month you're like, actually I'm glad I stuck that out, and actually I learned so much from that experience, and I'm grateful for the experience now. So just push through it a little bit longer. Remember that it's Mercury retrograde, it's the pre-shadow in the middle of the month, and just give it a little bit more time to sort of to fizzle out. Of course, by the end of the month, if you decide that it's really not for you, then sure, move on. And at the end of the month, we have that High Priestess card energy coming through. And, you know, in many ways, I think that the High Priestess energy is a Scorpio archetype. Of course, Scorpio archetype is also death. But I do feel in many ways that the High Priestess is very Scorpion, right? It's feminine, it's deep, it's intuitive, it's watery, it's linked with the nighttime, the unseen, the hidden, revealed secrets, right? And of course, Scorpio is the secret revealer. They are the truth bringer. And of course, the Scorpio moon placement is one of the most psychic and the High Priestess is all about unlocking psychic abilities, right? So if you are bringing focus to that spiritual life, to the meditation, to the practices that are helping you to develop and unlock these abilities, there's a great moment at the end of the month for these things to really just be opening up in big, big ways. Very profound, very beautiful. Beautiful Scorpio moons. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit like, please hit subscribe. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, if you would like a personal private reading, send me an email, which is in the description below, and you will also find all the links to my social media. So join me in all those different platforms. I'd love to see you there. I do a live channeling session every Tuesday on my Instagram account, so that's probably one of the best places to find me. I'd love to see you in the live space, and until next time, with love. Hello Sagittarius moon signs, and welcome to your prediction. And the keywords coming out for you. In the face of difficulty and challenge, be the spiritual warrior. Come with your shield of light and your sword of wisdom and kindness, and transmute the energy of the challenge and the difficulty in any situation. And I know you've been through many difficult situations before, and you know what? You're going to move through many more. And you know how to transmute that energy. Come with that big heart. Come with your ability to expand that which you focus your energy on. So don't focus on the difficulty. Focus on how you can solve and overcome and transmute. And you know, as I said that, I saw this video recording switch onto 111, 1 minute, 11 seconds, like so beautiful. And that's really synchronistic. So the beginning of the month for you definitely presents some challenges, some difficulties. It's going to feel like you're being attacked by some people. It's going to feel like, you know, you're trying to get this thing done, and this is standing in your way, and that's standing in your way, and that's standing in your way, and you're just like, why? Or you're like, no, I'm just bringing my light. I'm just bringing my light. I'm just bringing my light. Do it. You got it. And yeah, so there is this feeling of pause, like a little bit stuck, like which way do I turn? How do I transmute this energy? And you know how. And you know, the thing is, I always like to say this about the Hanged Man card, is that, you know, firstly, the Hanged Man, he's not hanging by his neck, he's hanging by his feet. So he's hanging upside down. He's shifting his perspective. He's looking at things from a different point of view, right? So, okay, cool, I see the difficulty. Now let's look at it from a different angle. How can I turn this challenge into a blessing? And he's taking the time to contemplate, to think, to see. He's not distracting himself on social media or moaning about the situation to a friend. He is sitting quietly by himself, shifting his point of view. Towards the middle of the month, there will be a helping hand coming through. The solution is going to be a little bit more evident, and it's going to take a bit of physical labor, a bit of work, right? A bit of action taking and some practical steps to get these things leveled out and to culminate in the best way possible, right? And you're going to have to use your ability to be creative. You're going to have to use your divine magic, right? To transmute and to work and to make play out of heavy work, okay? Make it fun. Bring that jovial energy through. And maybe it's as simple as just like playing the music while everyone's putting in the hard work, and, you know, taking a 5-minute pause to just find some laughter and to uplift everyone's spirits, right? And I definitely do get the sense that you're working in teams, right? It's like people are coming through to help you with the project, and your main function here is to bring the light, bring the joy, and bring the enthusiasm and get everyone going. As we move towards the end of the month, I would say don't rest on your laurels. Cautious, watch out for all of the people who came through to help you with this project. Check in with everyone's intentions, check in with your own intuition around everyone's intentions. Don't just assume that everyone has your best interest at heart, right? Some people may be coming through for free handouts. Some people may be coming through to try and use you or take something away from you. Use your ability to discern, use your ability to judge, but not in the harsh, critical sense. Like, you know, there's a difference between judging someone because of their race, gender, class, etc., or to come with like a heart-centered judgment where it's like, something feels off here. Okay, so just check in. There's a difference between those things, right? And use your ability to tap into your intuition and your ability to call for guidance from your angelic beings or your guides, those who help you. All right, pray for the guidance. Beautiful Sagittarius moons. Thank you for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe. Leave me a comment in the description below. I'd be so grateful to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you thought, actually. And I'd love it if you join me on my other social media platforms. I do a live weekly every Tuesday on IGTV, live channeling session, live tarot reading. Would love to see you there. And if you would like a personal reading with me, drop me an email. Everything's in the description. And until next time, Capricorn moon signs, welcome to your prediction. And the key message that is coming through for you for May is it is a time of new birth, whether you are birthing a new version of yourself, a new project, or an actual flesh and blood child, or whether you are bringing a new pet into your life, or whatever it is a brand new, a beginning. And the other key words for you is take action. All right, it is very important for you to take action. And actually with that Capricorn energy, right, you're very good at taking action, but sometimes you hold yourself back because A, you can be too perfectionistic, B, you don't like to let go of the control and bring in assistance from others. Okay, bring in some assistance from others. And sometimes you are too practical in your thinking around what is actually achievable, and sometimes you're holding yourself back from taking action because you think, actually, that's not possible for me, so I won't even try. Darlings, it's possible. It is possible. You take action and move towards the thing you really want from here. That thing that you really deeply desire, that you're going, oh no, that's only for rich people, or oh no, that's only for very lucky people, or like, oh, only 1 in a million. Darling, you are 1 in a million. You are. Don't not take action because you fear failure. If you don't take action, you've already failed. That's the thing. So at the beginning of the month, we get the Empress card, which is also all about the new birth, right? Birthing new projects, bringing fruition, harvest, abundance, divine feminine energy, all a very beautiful blessing for the beginning of the month. And then we have that paired with this 3 of Stones, which is a magical energy, right? And it's about that Holy Trinity. It's about understanding that balance is more than just the two scales. Balance is also bringing in that third aspect, right? The spirit and the spiritual realms, the God aspect, right? Or goddess aspect. And yeah, it's really about using your practicality in conjunction with your energetic work, in conjunction with the mental realms, right? And bringing these things into perfect balance to move towards your dreams, believe in this new birth, even as you enter the middle of the month and you hit a little bit of a slump, okay? For some of you, it may be as far as a depression. For all of you, there's going to be a sense of sadness. And I want you to know this is part of the cycle. It's normal to feel some sadness, okay? Of course, if it is way beyond sadness into a deep and dark depression, please know that there are support structures out there to help you. Please call your doctors, please call in your parents, call in your friends. There are people who are willing to help you. If you need the help, please get the help, all right? I do feel that this going into the depths, the darkness, the depression, the sadness is quite necessary in terms of a spiritual unlocking that is currently happening at this time. And yeah, it's making you more sensitive, it's making you more understanding, it's connecting you deeper with your intuition, it's making you more empathetic, it's potentially heightening psychic abilities. And you know, the depression may also be linked with some revealing, a big secret being revealed where it's like, whoa, shocker, I didn't see that coming, I didn't see the truth of the situation. How am I ever going to trust myself again? And then, you know, having to go back into that self and be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I forgive myself for not seeing that. In fact, I commend myself for seeing the good in that person or that situation. And I know I can heal from this. Get the rest. Get the rest. No, you're not done. You're not done. Rest, cry, get the help, and then wake up and get up and pick up the pieces that are left and carry on with your life, because you've still got this new energy with you, and you need to bring that through as we move towards the end of the month into a much happier state, into a state of united family, right? And of course you can use this bit of a dip to reach out to the family and then allow that to bring you closer. So I'm really feeling this energy of happy family towards the end of the month. And there is also this sense of harvesting and looking at, wow, like look at all this amazing stuff coming through for me, right? And it's physical stuff, it's wealth, it's abundance, it's fruition, it's energetic, because the material is energetic as well, and so it also has to be energetic at the same time. And you're just like, wow, there's all of this amazing stuff coming through. I really just want to share it. I want to share it with others. That makes me feel better, makes me feel good. And please do share it, because that is the true joy. And I really am feeling in particular that you're sharing it with your family. Of course, we can define family in many ways. For some of us, we have friendship families and soul families and chosen families, right? It's not necessarily the family you were born into, and that's all right as well. All right, beautiful Capricorn moons, thank you for watching. I am so grateful to have you here, and of course please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. Leave me a comment, and I'd love to see you on my weekly live on Instagram at LunAscention. Everything's linked below in the description. I'd love to see you on Facebook and TikTok as well. And of course my email is there if you would like a personal reading. Drop me an email and we can connect. Until next time, lots of love. Aquarius moons. I have a few keywords for you. Grounding. Grounding is so essential for you as you move through this initiation of life. Initiation and transition, right? Things are shifting. Things are shifting, and remember that an initiation is not, it's not something that's just easy. It's not just like, bloops, there it is. It's something that has to have a little bit of struggle. It needs to, you know, you got to work for it a little bit. It's got to push you. And this is the thing, right? The way we gain strength is by going a little bit further beyond the point at which we thought we could do, right? And then we show ourselves that we actually, wow, what? We did that thing? That's amazing, right? So I want you to know the load you're carrying is just perfect. It's just right for you. You can do it. I know it feels like a lot. You can make it through this initiation and this transition, and you can shift into the next glorious version of yourself. Around the beginning of the month, there is this sense of creativity, and there is this sense of emotional release. And I know that there's a little bit of a reluctance around the emotional release, and I really want to encourage you to just allow the emotions and to be honest with yourself about how you feel about that current situation, because I think you are kind of seeing the undercurrents of someone's perspective and you don't like it. And that is a sign, right? That is a message that perhaps you're not meant to work with this person, or perhaps you need to have a conversation with this person and implement some boundaries. Use your creative resources and your brilliant mind to come up with the best the best solution of how to deal with the thing that is making emotion bubble for you. Okay? As we move towards the middle of the month, there is a forecast for many many flared egos surrounding you, including your own. Lots of triggering moments. It may correlate with that pre-Mercury retrograde energy, as well as that Mars in Cancer energy, okay? And I want you to know that keeping in check with your emotion through this process is going to be so important, but not overreacting because you're having an emotional response, okay? Use your emotional feelings as a guidance tool and as a way to soften and become gentle and become vulnerable instead of becoming nasty or angry. And you know, Aquarius moons, you know, sometimes you can be a little bit disconnected from the feeling spheres. And so it might be quite a lot for you to have all of this bubbling motion, and also quite a lot to deal with other people's bubbling emotion, but it's such an important initiation for you and is such an important part of your growing process. And even though you are an Aquarius moon, I know you have water somewhere in your chart, so you do have the tools to work with the emotional sphere as well. Okay. At the end of the month, wow, it's such an emotional month for you. At the end of the month, we have a lot of forward motion. All right, let me just tell you the cards, okay? We have the Chariot. So Chariot is about forward motion, forward momentum, balance, yin and yang, opposing energies, opposing forces, okay? Those are the keywords of the card. And then you have the Moon. The Moon is about emotions, unconscious, subconscious, dark, unseen, hidden, feminine, cycles. and dreams, right? The dreamscape. So, you know, it's really, the emotional landscape is coming up so strongly for you over this month. And I really feel that the initiation that you're moving through is an emotional initiation, and it's one of learning to work with your emotions, to honor the way you're feeling, to honor the emotions that are coming up, to allow yourself to be sad when you need to be sad, and to be okay with that, right? To surrender to that process, and to recognize that it's a very empowering thing to be able to sit down and have a good cry and to physically release the emotions through waters, and that there is this cycle where we move through happiness and then sadness and then happiness and then sadness. Okay, it's obviously a little bit more nuanced and complicated than that, but if we really like boil it down and boil it away, it's dark light, dark light, dark light, and we move through that cycle. And so we must surrender to that cycle. Okay, there are both ends of the polarity, Chariot card, and we're going to move forward. We're going to have that forward momentum, and I'm really feeling this as something so powerful and positive. And of course, you know, if you're going to tap into the dream spaces and start working with your dreams, I think this is really going to, it's going to make this initiation so much more powerful. In fact, you know, you may literally move through a ritual in your dream space where it's like, you know, this goddess or entity comes down and bestows upon you like this gift of like, you've done it, like here it is, here's your token, and congratulations, now you have these tools. And now you can move forward in your life in a way that is so much more balanced and so much more nuanced in your understanding of that divine flow and that divine cycle. Beautiful Aquarius moons. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. And of course, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you on other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do a weekly live on Instagram. I'd love to see you in the live space every Tuesday. And until next time. Hello Pisces moon signs. Welcome to your reading, and the key words for you this month is rest, to regain your resilience and strength. Prioritize your resting cycles. Get a good night's sleep. And you know, rest is not only sleeping at night, it's also taking a tea break, it's also meditating, it's also resting your nervous system, right? It's also doing yoga. And please know that whatever resilience and strength, imagine yourself at the pinnacle of resilience and strength, like the most strong and resilient you have ever felt, right? It was probably when you were a bit younger. I want you to know you can regain that and more. But you do need to rest. It's not about pushing yourself to the brim of exhaustion, because that's how you deplete your life source energy. All right, so around the beginning of the month there is some kind of disaster that plays out, and there is this need to just walk away and be like, no, I'm done with this, I'm done with this, please leave the unhealthy situation. You don't need to keep going through the same cycle. It doesn't mean you're a failure. All right, it means you've gained some knowledge and some understanding, and that you can move forward. Okay, and around the middle of the month you're going to sort of regain your abundance, your strength, your ability to feel victorious, right? I really sense like walking away from that unhealthy situation opened a door which you just went like, whoa, I am the warrior emerging victorious from this battle scene, and I'm coming back, and I might have some scars, but Oof, darling, I am in such a good space right now. And my abundance is coming through, okay? And yeah. You know, sometimes when we carry too much material wealth and try to pull too much material wealth out of a situation, it actually becomes heavy. So, you know, I'm just throwing that one in there. Because you can take all of that wealth, but it might be burdensome to carry. Yeah. And then towards the end of the month, we have this opportunity opening up for you to look at yourself with new eyes, to look at yourself in a new way. And you can do this consciously. And yeah, I really think it's a good moment for you to actually challenge yourself and start looking in the mirror and saying affirmations such as, I love you, and you are wonderful, and I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of the difficult things you've had to do this month, and I'm proud of the victories that you've achieved, and you're amazing, and I'm so grateful to be living in this expression. And yeah, you get the point. I also feel that it's a moment of embarking upon a new study, and like this, you know, this could be you taking an online course or reading a new book, which just unlocks new information for you. And I feel that this is sort of running alongside this stream of bringing in a more positive way of speaking towards yourself as a way to actually get you to where, like as a tool for getting you to where you wish to be. Bring through the new knowledge. Beautiful Pisces moons. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do hit like and subscribe. And of course, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you on other social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I do a weekly live on Instagram. I'd love to see you in the live space every Tuesday. And